Hello, everyone. Welcome to this session by InsideIIM. Here today, all of us would be sharing our experience about our interview at IIM Indore and the tips and tricks on how you can also ace the interview, which you'll be facing very soon. So, I'm Kritika Anand. I'm 24 years old. I'm an architect and I graduated from SPA Delhi in 2021. And I have about 22 months of work ex as a journalist and a graphic designer.
Yeah. So, hello everyone. My name is Radhika Dongre, and I am also a 2023 batch student of IIM Indore. So I have 2.5 years of work ex as a data engineer working with a US-based financial services company, and I have done my engineering in electronics and communications.
You're on mute.
Hello everyone, I am Kumar Satyam. I have completed my graduation from NIT Jaipur in metallurgical engineering branch, and then after I have 1 year of experience in data science domain in one of the analytics firm, and I am from Champaran, Bihar, and currently I am first year student in IIM Indore.
Hello everyone, I am Akash Suthar and I am from Ahmedabad, Gujarat. I did my mechanical engineering from Ahmedabad, ND College of Engineering. I have around 23 years of work ex working with Adani Total Gas Limited in projects and O&M. Thereafter, I joined Adani itself in its e-mobility department, which is the new vertical, upcoming vertical. Then I am currently in my first year BGP program.
So what we were thinking the flow would be that we'd each share our interview experiences, and as and when we go along, if all of you have any questions, you can type it in the chat, and then we'd answer them along the way. So I'd begin by saying that the introduction in your interview would be the most important part. It was the driving force for my whole interview. So this was IIM Indore was one of the interviews wherein the panel actually asked me questions related to my field. Like it was the only panel that was actually well versed about architecture. So it was an interview that I thoroughly enjoyed. So every line in your interview should define, like you should be very well aware of every word that you're using in your introduction. For example, in my introduction, I said that my father is in the Navy. So the first 2-3 minutes of the interview revolved around which all cities have I lived in? Do I know enough about the current political state of those cities? And then they went on to ask me questions related to my subjects that I did in college. So one question that I found very funny was they asked me, can you list all the subjects? Now, this was a 5-year course and I couldn't list all of them, but I believe you should be aware at least of your core subjects, because then they'll question you based on the subject. They might even ask you which subject was your favorite, either in college or in school. And if you have work ex, they would heavily focus on that part, on what exactly was your role there. And why MBA was a question that did come up in every interview that I gave, because this was a sudden career switch in my case. So if it is in your case, I guess this is one answer that you should be very solid about. And if you do mention things like you're interested in finance or marketing, be a little aware about the current trends in those fields and a little aware of the terms that are used. Like, not, you shouldn't know everything, but at least basic knowledge should be there. Another fun thing about the interview is that they're testing your thinking skills. Like, one question they asked me was, how would you measure the height of Mount Everest? And they weren't happy with any single answer. Like, they just kept probing you that think further. What else can you do? What is another way to go around it? So yeah, I would like Radhika to take over now. And if you guys have any questions related to this, please type it out in the chat box.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kritika. So, continuing from where she also started, so the first thing is introduction, which is very important, and it drives how your interview is going to be for the next 30 to 35 minutes that you will be dealing with the panelists. So, be sure of each and everything that you are mentioning in your introduction. Like, they have a habit of, pausing you in between and crossing questions to you based on each and every line you say. So be sure that whatever you are saying, you are thorough with it. Also, you must have draft a rough resume. Like you need not submit it to the panelists, but you should have it for your reference. Be sure that whatever you're mentioning in your rough resume or whatever you are going to speak over there, you're confident about it and you're not bluffing any of the facts in front of the panelists, because they are very smart to catch you if they find you lying or something or making things up. So this was about the introduction. Next thing, if you have work ex, be aware, be sure of what industry you were working in, the current trends, the current technological advancements that have been happening in your industry, the current political news about your industry, etc. Then coming from where you come from, so you like your hometown or your state, be aware of the political mix of your state, who is the chief minister and how the political dynamics are there. Uh, be well versed with all the current affairs that are going in your, because as a management student you are not only becoming like you're not only becoming an MBA graduate, but they expect you to be a vigilant citizen of the country. So be aware of all the current happenings. Next thing is about undergrad. So as Kritika said, they do ask you what your favorite subjects are. So they asked the same question to me as well. And like being an engineering graduate, they asked me a few questions on mathematics. They gave me few sums to solve integration and differentiation, like basic things, basic trigonometric equations to which I had to integrate. So be sure that you brush up your basics. As I was an electronics engineer, they asked me a few basic questions around that also. And like I very much agree to what Kritika said on assessing your thinking capacity. So one random question they threw at me was, "What happens if I throw a satellite with my hand?" So this is a very random question, and the discussion all went to the gravitational constant and everything. So be sure that if you are, let's say, an engineer, you are aware of all the basics. Next thing, uh, GK also. So they asked me the history of Indore also, that you would be coming to this city. So like who were the early presidents of this city? Who had a big hand in establishing Indore? What is Indore's culture? What is Indore's political mixture? Questions of these sort. So be have a little presence of mind. And one piece of advice I want you to take is do not panic, whatever the situation may be. If you do not know any answer, make sure you're not bluffing. Be humble and say that you don't know. Next, and the second point that I want you to take from here is don't be biased to any stream. Let's say you're interested in finance. So don't just stick to finance only. Portray yourself as a keen and eager student who is there to learn and not just there to study finance, because you don't know what professor is taking your interview, like the professor is from what background. So if the professor turns from marketing background, you do not want to end up offending someone. So it's my piece of advice that don't be biased towards any stream. Give a balanced answer. Yeah.
Okay, so like I think like most of the things are already mentioned by Kritika and Radhika. Like one of the thing, like especially I want to focus upon like be sure of everything that you have mentioned in like tell me about yourself, because like even in my case, like when I mentioned like I belong to Bihar, like then the whole conversation started like about the Bihar political and economic things. So like make sure to like know about like where do you belong, and then the history about that place. Like the Bihar is the place of the king and everything. Like now they start asking about the like what emperor like belong to that Bihar area, and like how many regional area like regional languages are there in the Bihar. So like yes, like you should be like aware of every little things in that thing. And like one of the thing like I want to focus upon, like try to make the interview conversational. Like don't try to like make it too structural, like it will not like it will make the interview kind of mechanical kind of thing. So like try to do some conversation with the interviewer, like it will make you less nervous and interview will go well. Like even in my case, when they asked about like where did you complete my education, so I mentioned like I have completed my education in multiple places. Then they asked about like why you have moved to multiple places. Then I told me like there was not like suitable thing to complete my education there. So they started asking about like So how can we improve that? So you can think like this way, the conversation is going again and again, like it is not being too boring and structural kind of interview. Then when I was telling about the problems, I also mentioned in the last that there are multiple problems in that area, but I think there are some solutions which we can implement there. So then they start asking about the solution. So in this way you can see like I am driving the interview, not they are. So in this way, like I can make sure like in which area that I am strong, I can drive the interview throughout. So if you are not driving the interview, it might occur that they can ask you some questions that you don't know. So you can use this point in your interview, and you can try to make conversation and open-ended answers so that they can ask questions from this area. Obviously, like you can mention all the things that you know strongly. And then again, the why MBA questions, don't try to make it too structural again, because they are already bored of hearing all that structured answers from ChatGPT or Google anything. So you can use your personal experiences. Like even in my case, like I was in technical kind of job, 1 year of experience. So like I mentioned that currently I'm working in technical aspect of business implications, but I want to know more about the business implications. Like if a manager take the data from me and how he used the insight from that. So like I use a real application, like in my job, how my manager uses the data to solve the client problems, and I am not able to do that because I am currently at lower level and technical aspects. So I mentioned that because that I want to solve the business problems by myself, because now I am currently know the technical implications, and in the future I want to solve the business problems with the help of me. So I think in this, the real life examples, if you want to include in your interview, it will be more conversational, and it will make you less nervous because you already know all the things. And during my time, like one thing in the IIM Indore interview, I seen that like they were asking some basic stats questions, like the mean, median, mode, or standard deviation variances, and they were asking the formula of all of that. Like I asked about 5 to 6 people in my panel, and all of them have been asked about the basic stats questions. So you should know about the probability curve, standard deviation variances, and mean, median, mode, and their applications that and again, since like I am in the little bit focus upon the academic thing. So please be aware of all the topics that you have covered in graduation. Like even after leaving my engineering 1 year, they were asking about the metallurgy, like because my branch was metallurgy. So they were asking about the iron steel diagram, like composition of carbon in steel. So actually what I did, like there was a question in chat too, like how should we cover our cats. So you go through the syllabus of your acad, graduation. Like I go to college, I went to my college website and try to put out the syllabus and identified like what are the major topics that anyone can guess. Like in my metallurgy, obviously, an outer person can't know like a whole thing of metallurgy, but they can focus upon some of the major things like the steel making. They can focus upon iron making. They will focus and the basic metallurgy, physical metallurgy. So I choose that topic which anyone can choose, and now you can cover through like the major areas of that topic. So obviously you should get out of syllabus, like what the syllabus, the whole your grad contain, and then you should choose the major topics which are commonly used in outer areas, and then you should go through them. Obviously not in details, but you should know the terms. And also you can deviate from the real questions sometimes, because like let's suppose you don't know the exact answer, but you can use your graduation knowledge to like somewhere deviate from the answer and try to tell something, not be like silent all the time. So I think these are the major things, and rest of the things like Kritika and Radhika mentioned. Like Akash, can you take up?
Yeah. So like everything sums up by Kritika, Kumar, and Radhika. Just a common point to add, like they just want to test your ability in convincing the interviewer that yes, you are a good candidate to pursue your MBA. Because at each and every questions, they don't want a perfect answer. Like in my case, like as Kumar mentioned, that I also prepared a intro so that I can drive my interview, but it didn't go as per I like structured it. They directly asked me like, you're wearing a Titan watch. Can you explain me the marketing strategy of Titan? So it can also went through like this. But if it goes in this way, it is like good for you only, because now you have a broader code to play with. So just to sum up, like try to be convincing and be confident about what are you presenting. So they just want to test your convincing abilities in a nutshell. So I'll go on with the questions now on. So someone is asking how long does average I'm in the interview last for? So my interview, particularly for me, it lasted around like 25 to 30 minutes around. It depends. It depends on like locations to location. Like one of my friends was in like Mumbai campus. The interview was scheduled in Mumbai campus. So he told me like his interview lasted only for like 15 minutes, or some also mentioned that 20 minutes. So it depends, like depend on the interviewer, the panelist also. But it is around like 20 to 30 minutes on an average, or 20 to 25 minutes. Uh, then second question is, what if you freeze in a stress interview? How snap out of it? Yeah, so maybe we all have gone through this situation. They will help. The panelist will surely help you. They'll offer you a glass of water or juice or anything like that. They'll first make you settle down for the interview, and then only they'll ask the questions. So they only help you in this interview situation. And like the basic thing, like if you feel like you are like freeze in a situation, just breathe, relax for a moment, tell them like I just need a minute or something like this, half a minute to recover from the question that you have asked, and then you can continue answering the questions. Kritika, you have something to add upon it? You can go on.
Basically, like if you get stuck, tell the panel tell them exactly what you're thinking and which is the place where you're getting stuck. Because they're also there to help you only. They're not there to like stress you out in a stress interview as well. First of all, if it is a stress interview, it is kind of better for you in a way, in the sense that they're already testing you on the very difficult points. That means even if your interview doesn't go on for that long, they still tested all the things that they wanted to test. So if you freeze, just don't like stop there. Try to get the conversation flowing. Take a deep breath. They'll also understand the position you're in, and try to steer the conversation in a direction where you're more comfortable. Also, for the time question, I don't think the time of the interview is that important, because there have been cases where if you have a 15-minute interview, you've been selected. And even if you've had a 40-minute interview, you've been selected. So it really depends on the panel. You shouldn't be drawing any conclusions from how long your interview lasted for. Oh, I think Akash, there's a question for you. Like, how do we know the answer? I'll just like say a little and then maybe you can carry on from there. Basically, they don't want the exact answer. They want to know, can you think on your feet? I think Akash can help better in this question.
Yeah, so how I tackle the situation, I like it's a very random question for me, right? Even I was like, am I wearing a Titan watch or not? Like, so firstly, I started with the like 4 Ps. I try to tell them what are the 4 Ps in marketing. I try to make them aware about that. I know the basics of marketing. I may not know the actual marketing strategy for Titan, but yes, I do know the basics of marketing, the 4 Ps, the STP, and then I try to relate it with the knowledge that I have about Titan, and then I try to relate it with the marketing strategy. It is not required that you tell them the perfect answer, but what I did is I try to tell them about the basics of marketing that I know, and try to relate it with the knowledge of Titan that I had in that particular time. Radhika, can you take the next question?
Yeah. One question from Joydeep Ghosh. When thinking about a particular topic, should I take a pause and recollect my thoughts? Absolutely. Actually, this is the way you should go forward. If they ask you some question, don't put it that you are all ready with the answer and you have mugged up everything. Take a pause, take a deep breath, and ask that, can I have a couple of minutes to, gather my thoughts? Or say, would you allow me a minute to think on this question? And then there's always a pen and paper in front of you. If they don't provide you with one, you can always ask for it. You can say, I want to structure my answer this way, or I'll take a couple of minutes to think about this answer, think about the question. So absolutely, you should take a pause and think. Like, don't bombard the panelists with whatever mugged up answer you have. Next question, um, how to ho- how should we cover our acads? So, when in your introduction you tell them about your academic background, your undergraduation subjects, uh, be sure to get questions from that area. So, as previously mentioned by all of us, that have a favorite subject ready, open the website of your college, go through all the topics that you have learned, pick something in which you are strong, revise the basics, and then tell them that, sir, this is my favorite topic if they ask you. If they don't expect you to be very technical in your answers or be very clear with whatever you're saying. They just want to know that, are you aware that such kind of subject existed in your undergrad? Were you attentive enough? And you have the basic knowledge of that thing. That's it. They won't test you on all the technicalities that you learned in your undergrad. Kumar, maybe you would like to take the next question?
Yes, yes. Like, I will take the question of Shivani. Like, she was asking, like, what if she was not able to answer kind of questions? Like, it's okay. Like, if you have 18 months of experience, like, they don't expect you to know all the things. Like, even in my case, like, my undergrad was in metallurgy, and they started asking about some metallurgy questions. So I like almost answered 70% of the questions because I was like, I went through all of the major topics, but like, there were some questions like in which I was not able to give the answer. Even they know, but you can like major like mention some of the related topics. Like if I don't know exactly the answer, I can tell something like, I'm not sure, but I know this thing like, better. Like if they're still making, you don't know the all of the furnaces, and they ask some furnace like about if you don't know about. So you can mention some other furnace, and you can still like I can recall some of the furnace, but I don't exactly recall because. Okay, so you can mention that thing because you have already like 18 months experience, and if it is in different sector, like you can tell them. Because in my case, what happened like they initially like in IIM Indore interview, like there was a thing called extemper. Like in the last, they ask you to tell something about any topic. Initially, they gave me a topic called like ancient versus modern metallurgy, and then like they themselves asked like, are you comfortable with this topic? Because they knew it because it had like already been 1 year since I have attended the topic. So I told them because that if it is possible, you can change the topic. So they told me like they have given me a new topic like which is related to my work experience. So I started giving like example on that topic. So like it's totally okay like if you are not giving all the 100% answers, but make sure to like make through go like go through all of the major topic so that you can mention something like not exact answer, but you can mention something related to that answer, like so that you can recall something like that, but you don't exactly know the perfect answer. So that it won't be like totally blank, but it will be create some good impression that you recall something about that. So make sure to go through major topics at least. That's why I'm telling that. Go through the website and take out all the syllabus and try to go through all the major topics so that you can at least talk about any questions. Not giving the exact answer will not create a problem, but at least you should talk about any particular thing about that thing.
So Jaydeep is asking a question. I worked in my family business, which is in a building sector, construction sector. What all things I should definitely know? So I guess panelists won't go much into the technicality of the like construction or building sector, but they will definitely ask you about the business point of view. For example, like the financials, like what is the how you can uh, cater or tailor the top line or the bottom line part, or like what is the like different sectors distribution is there, or like what kind of marketing strategy that you are, or are you even looking for any marketing thing that you've done in your family business. So they all ask you about the business point of view rather than into the technicality. If you are an engineer in civil engineering background, then you should aware of the like basics thing like what is stress strain or how it impact upon the construction or the significance of it. Apart from if you're not an engineer, then they definitely ask about the business point of view rather than the legality. So that's the answer. And another question by Joydeep: is there any mentorship available from IIM
Akash,
Indore?
I'd like to pitch in for this question, like the building sector
Go
thing.
ahead, go ahead.
So, one thing that people from like manufacturing or these sectors should remember is uh, be aware about the budget. There is a capex allocation in the budget. So last time when I mentioned something about this industry that runs in my family, they asked me, do you know what is the capital expenditure allocated in the recent budget? And now, as this is the budget season when all the interviews are happening, be sure what is the allocation, what are the relaxations, or what are some stringent measures or constraints that the current budget has for these new sectors which you are mentioning about. So yeah, be aware of these things also.
And for the next question, I think, is there any mentorship available for the IIM Indore, like Lucknow did? Like I don't think like there is officially any mentorship available from IIM Indore, but obviously you can connect on LinkedIn. Many people are already available. You can search the people and you can connect with them, and they all will be happy to help all of you. Like there is not officially like IIM Lucknow mentorship, but you can obviously connect with any of us on LinkedIn, and you can take help from any of them. And also, I would like to add one thing from the interview experience. Like, try to choose one newspaper that you read regularly. Like, because they sometimes ask, like, which newspaper that you read regularly. So try to focus upon one newspaper and try to get knowledge of who is the editor of that newspaper, and like some basic knowledge about that newspaper. And on the day of interviews, they sometimes ask like which news like you have heard recently. So you should make some point, like major news that happened on that day or day before yesterday, so that you can mention that day, so that like it basically creates a good impression that you are update with the all the news.
Yeah, someone is asking how is life at Indore? Satyam, you want to answer this question?
Yes, like obviously like life is good. Initially, everyone knows like initial part of MBA is very hectic. Like when you came here, like there is a lot of things going around internship, getting a internship at good company, and then going through all of the academics. Lot of academics going happening at the same time, and pre-placement activities. So initially, the life is very hectic. Lot of troubles are there, but once like you go through all the processes, you get used to it, and then you started loving it. But even after term one, we are so much accustomed to like all the things, like we get so much of free time now, like we are totally free, like we have a lot of things to do, like we can do many things. So I don't think like life is very good. We get so much things to learn. We got true friend, like so much friends and groups to do all the things. I think some of you also can add.
Yeah, once you join, it's really hectic because everything is very new. You're in a new place. You have a lot of things to learn. But after a while, you just get used to it and then you start enjoying things. And the culture here at IIM Indore is really good. Like every festival is celebrated. There are a lot of events that keep happening throughout the year. So you're engaged in different activities. So it's not only studying. It's studying is like a very small part of it. The culture here helps you become a very well-rounded individual.
Even the clubs, like there are different clubs for like arts, like there are also music club, dance club, theater. So if you are enthusiast in any of these, you can also join these clubs. So yeah, it's really fun. It's a mixture of both your academics, your hobbies. You can also have a good time to participate in different clubs and their events also. So yeah, it's a fun. Radhika,
Also for
you want
party
to add?
freaks, it's like work hard, party. Yeah, I'm saying also if you are a party freak, you're welcome here. The culture here is work hard and party harder. So yeah, you will enjoy every bit of your time spent here.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
someone
Joy
is
has asked
asking.
another question, yeah. Why I am Indore and how to answer this. So there are two way types when this question can be asked. Either you have a call from ABC and then they'll ask you why I am Indore, and you would have to convince them that I would pick this college over others. And if you do not have those calls, then your answer could simply be that this is my best call. And the institute has a really good ranking. It's really good for academics. The placements are really good. So there is no one answer that would set you apart. You would have to find your own personal connection to why you would want to choose Indore as a place to be in. And what is something that attracted you about the college? Because any answer that you read on any forum would just be too generic. This would have to come from why is this place looking like something where you would want to spend the next 2 years of your life? If any of you would like to add to this answer.
And I
You can
think like you can
also,
also okay, Akash, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I would just like to add some of the ratings that IIM Indore, like even you can see in our background, like there are 3 or 4 ratings that are provided to IIM Indore. Like you can go on the website of IIM Indore and get like know all the ratings that have been provided to our college, and you can mention that in interview. Like in this way, you can also show that like you researched about the interview, sorry, about the college, and you can create a good impact.
You can also like go on the Google Maps and see the campus. The huge campus is like I think is the USP for bifurcating any IIM campus as compared to IIM Indore. So you can also talk about it that you really want to spend your next 2 years in this beautiful, humongous campus which is on like a hilltop called Planet I. So you can also answer your question, in such a directions also.
We have a question in that line. If we have LKI, can we still say we will choose Indore even if people might choose L? This won't sound unrealistic, right? No, I think not, because if you're interviewing for Indore, um, it's pretty much expected that you do your homework about the college. So I'd recommend that go through their website, look at all the accreditations that the college has, look at all the rankings that and look at all the acclamations that the college has had in the recent past. Also find some USPs of the college, like Akash mentioned, the campus. You can also mention about the REP program that we have here, which really is setting this college apart from others. We also have HOP. Mention the positives of these programs, how they help you build into a better human being, apart from all the academics that are already available in all other IIMs. So, if you are interviewing for a particular college, do not mention the positives of another college. That would set a bad impression. According to me, I think this is my personal opinion, that find the USP of that particular college. Let's say now for Indore, find the USP of Indore and speak about it. Your conviction should be shown through your answer, that why are you keen on joining this particular institute, even if you have other calls as well.
Yeah, someone is asking, Jaydeep is asking, I have calls from all LACKI as well, so I should be honest about my answer, right? So like you need to, yeah, you need to increase the probability of getting into one of this shortlist. So for each and individual shortlist, you need to, answer the question accordingly. You cannot be like, it's my dream to get into one of the IIM, so I need to answer my question accordingly. It will not like create a bad impression, but it's not preferred to like, sticking to a particular IIM and be honest about it that because then why are you even sitting for this interview, right? So better to prepare your answers for each and every individual IIMs and then answer the questions. So it will increase your chances to get into one of the IIMs. And then you can, if you get selected in each of the IIMs, then you can select on your own. So better to have more chances than to just selecting one in the initial. Anybody like to add something upon it? Okay. Yeah. So till the time another person asks question, Kritika, you want to add something related to your experience or your IIM Indore experience?
Like one thing I'd like to add about the interview, in your introduction, do mention your hobbies as well, so that it doesn't look like you're just like only about studying and maybe your work. Add something that you enjoy doing. And whatever you add, be a little aware about it, in the sense that I said that I enjoy reading and playing basketball. And then we had a discussion about who's my favorite basketball player, which team do I support. And they asked me about which is the book that I read recently. And then they asked for book recommendations as well, that if I want to read this type of book, which one should I go for? So do mention your hobbies, because it is something that adds a little extra touch to your interview and says that you have more dimensions than just like a single one. Okay, someone is asking when will we know the results? So for us, we got to know around May, I guess.
I think 10th
Or
May was the
yeah, first week of May was when the results was out for us. I do not know what it would be this time. But you would have enough time to prepare before you would have to report to Indore.
Also, I think there will be like multiple list, like the list one or like list two. So accordingly, you will get your results out. If you get selected in the first list itself, it for us it was around like 10th May, but there are second or third list. I'm not very sure. Third list or fourth list, but yeah, it will come in a like sequential order. So accordingly, you'll get to know your results.
I think we have missed one question here. How to get rid of nervousness? I am from BSc Physics background. Please tell me some topics which I should definitely cover. So, tackling nervousness is all in your hands. If you're sitting for the interview, in your mind, you should know that you are well prepared. Be confident and believe yourself and trust the process. However, your interview may go, stay calm and do not panic. They are not there to. They are not there to eliminate you. They are there to help you and to select you, because interview is more of a selection round than an elimination round. So do not get nervous if the interview is not going your way. Take a pause, ask for some water, and then resume. Collect your thoughts and then resume. What topics should you definitely cover? As we said, revise the basics of your undergrad and know some current affairs also. Like, for example, you are from BSc Physics background, so know some Nobel laureates in physics, know some recent discoveries or inventions that have happened in this domain. Mention some physicists who's your role model or something like that. If you talk about these aspects also, it gives you an impression that you are not only a study freak, but you are also aware of what the recent happenings are around your undergraduation area. So that sets a good impression.
Sailaja Nukala is saying this waiting time is painful. Uh, you had your time to prepare for the interview. So yeah, we know that it's painful, like even before the exams also. We just want the exams to get over as early as possible. But yeah, utilize your time well. Be prepared for the interview now, then to prepare for the like CAT again next year. So utilize your time well. Jaydeep is asking again, is it possible to take mock interviews by you people in the actual interview? Yeah, we can like you can connect with us on LinkedIn, and we can surely have like mock-up interviews. Like you can also do this with your another CAT aspirant friends. You can take each other's mock interviews, or you can ask your elder siblings also ask, because their perspective of questioning you will be different from your other CAT aspirants. So you can also do this in my like for my experience. We are like four friends preparing for CAT, so we used to do this like each and every day we schedule one interview, and the rest of the three will sit as a panelist and try to ask the questions accordingly. So yeah, you can do this with your friends also. Kumar, you want to add something about it?
Like the same thing I will like to add. Like even while I was preparing for the interview, like we were two friends. Like I got a call up from IIM in the Udaipur, and I got a call from IIM in Indore. Like we both used to sit and ask some, like we went around like long interview, like asking about anything that we mentioned. Like we started talking, and anything that I was mentioning in my answers, he started asking about that thing and started grilling about that particular topic. So you can start this practice with your friends, and like in this way you can make answer for everything possible that you are mentioning in your answer. Like as we mentioned, like please focus upon this thing, like please have a backup of everything that you are mentioning in each of the answer. So while you are preparing with your friend, like you can take any of the line and start asking about that thing clearly. Like if you are taking undergrad, go through deep inside all the topics. And even like while the work experience you are going through, make sure to look, like to know the industry report of that, like in the industry in which you are working, know in a good way, like and like each of the project that you have done, like know the business implication of that, so that you can mainly talk about the business. It will create something good impact.
Also, before it skips from my mind, I would like to tell you a resource to prepare current affairs from. There's this beautiful newsletter from the Times of India called Times Top 10. It's a free newsletter. You can subscribe to it. It gives you top 10 news for the day and a beautiful synopsis of that. And there, if you click like on Learn More, you'll get to read about the particular news in a greater detail if you navigate to the links. So it's a very useful resource. You all should subscribe to it.
So there's another question by Joydeep, that how would you convince the panelists about the shift from physics to MBA? So this is one answer you should prepare really well, because they would definitely ask you that if you're from a non-conventional background, why would you want to make that shift? So what helped me in shaping this answer was that I linked my current degree to an MBA, that how would it help me as an architect if I did an MBA? Like, how would my skills correlate, in the sense that maybe design could be translated into marketing, or the finance could help me understand how the budget of a construction project can be made. So you have to learn how to cross-link both your degrees and what makes sense in your head. This is an answer that should make sense to you, because only then you will be able to convince the panelists. So do not have a very basic generic answer in this case. Try to come up with something that forms a very solid link for you. And if you're by any chance making a complete shift, like you want to leave physics and shift to an MBA, like you don't want to continue it anymore, do not explicitly say that, because then it would create a sort of notion in their head that then do you think the past 3 years of your life was nothing, or do you not want to carry forward? What was that education worth? Try to form a very solid link. Akash, would you like to add anything?
Yeah. So I also had experience in like more core field. I was in the oil and gas sector. So they also asked me like, you worked in a very technicality background. So why do you want a shift? So I answered it in a way like, even though it is a core sector, I need to manage a team of around like 50 contractor personals. So there I felt like the need of, people dealing skills or communicating them to make them work. It's not like ordering them to do the work, but it's like getting them on board so that they can work well with you. So these are the reasons I can present with them, for which I wanted to pursue a degree in my management apart from the core technicality that I was working with. So this is the way you can, for each and every sector, you can structure your answer, like how is your current scenario lacks that management part, and then you can focus on like how you can bridge the gap by pursuing a MBA degree. So yeah. Another Reddy Rohit is asking both MBA and MCA, which one is better to this generation? Do any of you like to answer this question? Because I'm not very sure to answer this question.
I think MCA is more of a technical role that you would be doing, and MBA would give you the managerial aspects of any business. So let's say for a firm, if you are working and you have an MCA degree, you would be mostly working in technical roles, working with computer applications, coding, and all that stuff. Whereas if you do MBA, you would be looking at the managerial perspective of the company that you're working for. So both the fields are, I think, disjoint from each other. I would say they have different functions of their own. So whatever, whatever you are comfortable in, if you want to pursue the technical role that you're currently in, that is MCA, go ahead with it. If you want to, maybe give a launchpad to your career into the managerial side, maybe an MBA is suitable for you. I hope I have answered that question. I'm not very sure. Maybe Kumar, you would like to pick up?
Yes, I would just like to add, like, look upon your interest. Like, it's to not like it's not objective, like which one is better. Like, you can't say like someone from physics can earn more than MBA. It is also possible. So you can't just tell like which is better. It's totally depend upon you. Like, if you like MCA and you like the concept like learned in that MCA, like go with it. If you are really want to do MBA, know about the business, then go with the MBA. Like read about both of them and then decide yourself like which one is better for you. No, nothing is better and nothing is like worse. Even people making reels are earning more. It doesn't mean like someone is better and something is worse. It's totally dependent on yourself. Does
Yes,
an ITN
Agarwal.
okay.
Yeah, take the question.
Does an ITNs have some kind of advantage in interview? Like it's like not totally defined in that interview. Like obviously like IIT and IT has some kind of advantage, but even you can think like there are a lot of NITs and IITs giving out the interviews there. So it is also a disadvantage also, like you come from an engineer background and then there are a lot of people like even in IIM Indore my batch there are a lot of NITs you can get no. So it's not totally defined in the interview process, but yes, like there is some kind of advantage from the other BTech college, like obviously that if there is some private college so they can give some preference to IIT and NIT, but clearly it is not defined by the interviewer.
Disha is asking, if I join PGP, do I still have chances to get into an HR job, or HR job is only for PGP HR? Kritika, you want to take this question?
Yeah, so for this question, yes, definitely. So over here, there is no specialized course that we're doing. Like it's not in MBA in marketing or finance. So we have been studying HR courses as well. So if that is the direction that you do want to go in, there is definitely scope for that. Yeah. Would anyone like to add to that? Okay, I
So
guess.
yeah, as Kritika mentioned that our degree was in like general management, so it is not like for our summer internship program. So many companies came for like general management roles. So it's not like purely HR role, but it is not also like we won't get into HR job specifically. So it is not like a particular major degree course. You'll get a degree in general management. So yeah, it depends. It's not like only PGP HR will get the HR job. But then again, if you want to like pursue your PGP in HR domain only, you'll rather sit for the PGP HR rather than PGP, because the curriculum matters more, because PGP HR curriculum is more like focused on the HR part rather than the PGP, which focuses on each and every domain. So yeah. Thank you, Ashish. Uh, I guess we can wrap up, or like if you any of you like Kritika, Kumar, Ratika want to add something upon it till the time someone is asking another question, you can.
I just want to say that if anyone after this live also wants to reach out, you can just find us on LinkedIn and we'd be happy to answer any questions that anyone has.
Yeah, so like yes, as Kritika mentioned, and also like just one single line, like from my side, try to do some conversation with interviewer. Like they are not so rude. Like they will surely help you in the interview. Like in my case, they help me a lot. Like even to change the topic of extemper. So try to do a conversation with them. Like they will surely help you. And if you don't know the answer, you can just take a pause and give your answer something related to that, and you can also take the help from that, like I don't know about this, and like can I, like you they will ask different questions, so don't be nervous, like be confident and try to do a conversation with them. Mm.
So Ashish is uh, sorry, Disha is asking again, if there is any job related to HR, we can apply it or not. So first of all, PGP and PGP HR both have separate placement committees. So if like you get a chance for a HR job in like in your PGP placement committee, then you can surely apply for it. But it's not like there is a common interviews or companies for both PGP and PGP HR. So yes, accordingly, you get the chance to apply or sit for a company in a particular interview. Can we get LinkedIn profile links? Sure. We all will pin our LinkedIn profiles in this comment section. Uh, Radhika, you want to add something?
Um, I guess no, we have covered most of the topics and also addressed all the queries. I think
I
I'm
think
good.
there was there was a question like, can you refer some YouTube channel for help for interviews? Like for the current affairs, like the channel called Think School really helped me a lot. Like he explained everything about the recent news and what's happening there in the world very well. So I used to see like Think School and Cold Fusion for the general current affairs to know more about that. And anything that you guys can add, like for the interview purposes, I didn't use much of the materials, but yes, for the current affairs, I use that.
Also, one thing I would like to mention is if you are from a technical background, do not take this as an excuse to run away from all the economics or finance related question that the panelists may ask. So be aware of the at least some basic terminologies of all these streams that you are not from. For that, I would suggest you can subscribe to the economics or the Financial Times, and get at least a bit aware of all the economical jargons that they're using so that you are not entirely blanked out during your interview.
Also, more than videos, I would suggest focus on practicing how to speak so that you do not fumble a lot in the interview. Like, try to pick up a topic daily, stand in front of the mirror, and try just speaking on it for a minute. See how far your train of thought can go and how far you can speak. Like, try to read the newspaper a bit more so that you can increase your vocabulary as well. They would help a lot more than videos. So, try practicing instead of watching videos.
Also, like
Someone is
some panels
asking.
for
Yeah, go ahead. Try.
yeah.
So,
Some of the panels for IIM Indore's interview were asking extemporaries also. Like my interview was in Hyderabad, but my panel didn't ask me. But the room beside, they were asking extemporaries. So it's totally unpredictable how the structure of your interview is going to be. So one piece of advice is that take some topics, random topics from the internet. Fish through Quora answers of people, and try to take some topics which people have mentioned, and try to, as Kritika said, stand in front of the mirror and try to speak for 2 minutes uninterrupted. So that's the standard time for an extempore, 1.5 to 2 minutes. So if you're not proficient in English, this is a very great way to brush up your language skills, and also it would boost your confidence on your day. So do practice a lot.
someone is asking how can we answer the YHRM over the MBA core in IIM Indore interview. Kumar, you want to pick up this question?
Yeah, sure. Like, obviously, like, if they are asking why HRM, it means you have some kind of interest in HRM. So research about the HRM and show them like you are interested in that, because there are some areas in which HR differs from the whole MBA. Like in the PGP, like we are more oriented towards like how we're managing like organization and even in the all aspect. But in HR, that is mainly focused upon the people in the organization. And there are some topics like that are mainly focused towards HR. So research through them and try to prepare an answer that you are inclined towards that factors, like how to help people, how to help organization in getting hiring people, and like organizing the people basically. So research about that and justify yourself like that you are interested in that section in the whole management thing. So it's totally upon you that if you are interested, research and then justify that.
One thing I would like to add upon that if some of you like feel like you have like less chances to get into particular IIM, don't let go of this opportunity, because I was also one of the aspirants who feel like I wouldn't get into IIM Indore because of my low percentile score. But then again, it like if you can perform very well in your interview, it has a good weightage. So give your 100% best. Don't let go of this opportunity now. Try to get it in this attempt itself. So any of you like feel like you are less confident about making it this time and thinking about applying for the next year, don't miss out this opportunity. Try and work hard upon this year, and you will definitely get into your dream IIMs. Thank you.
Yes, like same thing I would like to add. Like, just don't think about the things that are not in your control. Like people started taking up with stress about the marks, 12 marks, 10th marks. You can't change them, obviously. Okay. So current now at this point you have a call. Just try to do well in that interview. Just don't think about any other things because you can't change them. Nah? Like if you have bad marks in 12, you can't do anything. So at this point, what you can do? You can give the interview in much better way. Just try to focus upon that, and then what will happen? It will be in front of you. So just focus upon that thing. Don't think anything else and do well.
I think we can wrap up now. So I would like to thank team Inside IIM for hosting this and all of you guys for joining in, Radhika, Akash, and Satyam, and helping everyone out. And I'd like to wish all the best to everyone who will be facing their interviews. I hope you guys do well. And if you have any queries, do reach out to any of us or anyone from IIM Indore. People will gladly help you out. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank
Wish you
you.
all the best. I hope this session was helpful for all of you.
Yeah, also thanks to Inside IIM for like providing a platform for all the aspirants and even for us to share our experiences.
Yeah, thank you, Inside IIM, and good luck, guys. All the best for your interviews. You'll definitely ace. Thank you. Shall we end the discussion or?